Hi, and welcome to the introductory tape to your new job at Bunny Smiles Incorporated.
Hello gorgeous people, what is going on, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going over the analog horror series, The Walten Files. This analog horror series is heavily inspired by FNAF. This story follows a restaurant called Bond's Burgers, which was founded by Jack Walten and Felix Kranken in 1974. However, due to a series of unfortunate events, the restaurant quickly closed and its parent company shut down in the early 1980s. Throughout this series, we're going to find out why the restaurant shut down and all of the creepy things that led up to it. As always, the link to the Walten Files channel will be in the description down below. Please make sure to go and support your analog horror content creators. This series is super long, so I'm not going to be able to go over all of it today, but I'm going to go over a good portion of it. But I am super excited to jump into this one. Also, guys, we have a huge announcement. We got our first sponsor on the channel, and can you guess who it is? Well, it's Raid Shadow Legends. If you somehow haven't heard, Raid is a game where you can collect hundreds of champions. It has a super in-depth RPG battle system, amazing graphics, and intense PvE boss fights. One of the hardest bosses in Raid is a Hydra. It has multiple heads, and each one is a complete boss fight on its own. The Head of Torment is terrifying. It uses true fear to drag down your team, making you skip turns and lose access to skills. Another head is the Head of Mischief. This head steals all the buffs from your fully buffed champion, and then it spreads that buff to other Hydra heads. And that's only 2 of the possible 6 heads you can go up against. For new players, you can get your hands on Stag Knight, one of the best epic champions, as well as the skin for Stag Knight designed by JonTron. All you have to do is use promo code JTSkin before October 7th. And if you're not a new player, don't worry, you can still get Stag Knight from an in-game event. And oh, did you want a free legendary champion too? Well, you could get the mischievous Monkey King, Sun Wukong. All you've got to do is log in on 7 different days between August 22nd and October 23rd. No journey to the west required, just log in and that's it. With all this amazing stuff and more coming to Raid, what are you waiting for? Use my link in the description or scan the QR code on the top right to get insane bonuses like the epic champion Drake and other useful items. Drake is definitely my favorite champion right now. He comes from the Lizardman faction and he's just so cool the way he attacks. Once you're in and crushing your enemies, come find me under the name EmortalMarcus. And if you're fast enough, you might be able to join my clan. All you gotta do is hit that link in the description and I'll see you on the battlefield. And alright, now let's jump into the video. File 1. Company Introductory Tape. Alright, here we go, the Walten Files. I have no idea what to expect. I've never seen any of this before. Hello? Bond's Burgers. A cyber fun tech Bunny Smiles Inc. restaurant, 1974. So Bunny Smiles Inc. owns Bond's Burgers, I'm guessing? They're like the hire company?
Hi, and welcome to the introductory tape to your new job at Bunny Smiles Incorporated.
Okay.
You have applied to a job in technical support and maintenance. What does this job particularly mean? It means that you, amongst other employees, are the one who will take care of creating a magical and fun experience for Bond's Burgers.
Okay.
Hip hooray, the sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray.
I'm 52 seconds in, and we're already in such creepy territory. What is up with the teeth, man? Why can't anything animatronic related have no teeth? No teeth should be the idea. Not these creepy looking sharp teeth that we got here. That is disturbing. And what is bro high? What is with the eyes?
The sun has got his hat on and he's coming out today.
They're so creepy.
The sun has got his hat on. Hip, 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 hooray.
The song's fire though.
The sun has got his hat on and he's coming out today.
How much is that dog in the window?
Okay.
The one with the waggly tail. How much is that dog in the window?
That one could be the creepiest, to be honest, with those eyes.
How much is that dog in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is
Please don't
that
copyright me
dog
for
in
these.
the window?
That'd be really tragic.
Old MacDonald had a farm, and on that farm he had some pigs.
These are the showstoppers. Bond, Shaw, Boozoo and Banny, a computer-animated band made by BSI to entertain children. As a technician, you'll be given the role of a facility caretaker. Around this fun and magical journey we'll work on certain tasks, such as cleaning protocols,
robot maintenance and repair,
and learning how to use BSI technology. But first, here's a message from Jack Walton and Felix Kranken, our beloved founder, which reads, "In BSI, the most important thing to us isn't the money or the rating. The most important thing to us is that you have a wonderful experience while working with us."
That's
That
what they
being
all
said,
say.
With the Bonds Burgers restaurant getting opened in a few weeks, we're looking forward to achieving this dream with you.
I like the little doodles they have. Okay, I'm gonna pause to read this. Save, Restore, Secure. The BSI storage facility, also known as K9, is a company project to storage all valuable items from the closed for good Bonds Burgers restaurant. Given the situations about the incidents inside the 1974 Bonds Burger location, any type of props, animatronics, and arcade machines will be carefully moved, inspected, and secured inside a bunker located deep down in the in St. Joanna's Forest for good. A facility caretaker will take care of securing the facility and keeping it safe and working properly. All right, so Bonds Burgers ends up closing because of incidents in 1974, and they want everything involved in the closing in a bunker deep under a forest for good. Red flags already. Red flags already. I want to know what the incidents were that they were like, we're locking these things in a bunker. That's crazy. Also, I looked it up, and this forest seems to be in Michigan, from what I can tell. I want to know what the incident was that caused that. Was that audio reversed?
finally start to remember. That's all day. They will be back for you soon. Sophie.
Sunlight Animation presents a Bunny Smiles Incorporated cartoon. Little Bonds Neighborhood, 1979, Sunlight Animation. Brighton, okay. I believe the bunker was in Brighton, Michigan. Bonds Super Sleepover, written by Sarah.
It's a brand new day in Little Bonds neighborhood, and a really special one for sure.
Hello.
Little Bon has been waiting all day for his friends to arrive. He is planning to have a sleepover with them. He has everything set up for the perfect movie night with his friends.
Aw.
For this sleepover, he invited Shah, Boozoo, and Billy. Let's check again in case we don't forget any guests. Bon invited Shah, Boozoo, and
Is that one of the co-founders? Or one of the founders?
oh, that must be them. Now
Why
that
is he-
everyone has arrived, I suppose it's time for the movie night to begin.
Why is he looking through the window like that, bro? You look so creepy. I would not come in if you looked at me like that.
Bon spent all his money on a really funny movie, which he hopes all of his friends will enjoy and will laugh with Little Bon. And friends watched the movie. I guess we can say they had a blast of a time.
I do not like the guy that was on the couch on the right. What was that?
Once the night dropped, they all ate.
Okay, everybody's sleeping over. Oh, Bond's still up. Get some sleep, bro. Oh, never mind. That was his eye cover. We hear something. Missing Jack Walton. That is one of the founders. A lighter. What you gonna do with that? Put that down. The audio in this part is a little difficult to understand, so I tried my best to put subtitles for what I think it says, but I'm not 100% sure about everything.
Okay, I think that's good enough. So, this is the brand new caretaker for the old Bonnie Smiles facility. I'm recording this because the company requires some type of archives for the work history, something like that. I honestly have no clue because I started working here. Actually, I'm going there right now. But they gave me this weird location. There's somewhere in a forest, I think, to work at. And I've been driving for 20 minutes, and I can't find the place.
Is he going to the bunker?
Location, I think. It's gotta be it.
Okay, so this guy appears to be a new employee. I know that may have been hard to hear. I'm going to try my best to put into captions what he said based on what I heard. Right now I have the volume on max in my ears to try to understand what he's saying. It looks like he's at the storage bunker, though, that they spoke about earlier.
Chris told me this place had been working since about 78, 79, somewhere around then. And that was 4 years ago, I think. So chances are it's going to smell horrendous.
Is this in the bunker? Okay, so in this section I totally did not understand what he was saying, but basically what happens here is he finds a remote control and tries testing it out on the animatronic in front of him to see if it works. He also notes that the left arm is broken.
So, I found this, and I think this is good for Relocate Project for the company. Although that's all I can think of now. Most guys are asking nowadays. But, diagnostic control is right here, so we can go there and tell what to do with it. Now, let's check out the head now. And we'll begin with the head. Let's begin with the arm. Let's check the left arm. Yeah, the left arm.
It looks like he's testing that animatronic to make sure it's still working. I hear him saying left arm and right arm, and it's moving right after he says that. So I guess he's testing it, but what is the point of testing it if it's in this bunker? I don't understand. Especially, it sounds like it's been years since the incident. He was talking about 78, 79 before, I believe.
The left arm.
Hi. Oh. And he's running.
What was that thing?
I can't feel anything. He thought I was her. Hello, my name is Brian Stells, and I work as facility caretaker. Is that the other founder, or is that Jack? Wow, do we have a lot to digest in that first video, man. I hope you guys are ready for a long one, because... whew. Alright, so let's go over a few things. We have this Bond's Neighborhood episode where he's inviting people over to watch a movie and then a sleepover, and then he wakes up in the middle of the night and we see this, Jack Walten missing, which is one of the founders of this company, of Bunny Smiles Incorporated. Then he finds a lighter on the ground, and when he goes to light it, we see what looks like maybe a person in a security outfit, and we see the main bunny, Bond, behind her. This appears to be a girl right here. So we'll keep that part in mind, because then right after we move on to this new guy's working footage, and it's October 10th, 1982. And I believe this is the perspective of the person whose name we get at the end, which is Brian Stells. His job is to basically go to the bunker and I believe test some of the animatronics that are there. And it looks like he's testing Bond. We also see a lot of creepy pictures of like families and people with kids on the wall. And then he's in the middle of testing the animatronic when it starts to just move on its own, it seems. And then these pair of eyes appear and it starts like crying these black tears. And then we see Brian running in the woods. I don't know what's up with this weird mask thing here. I have no idea what this means right now. And then we get this. I can't feel anything. He thought I was her. So it appears Bond confused Brian with someone else, who I think is that girl that we see in the animation earlier in the episode. Still don't know who she is though yet. And then we get this creepy smile from what seems to be the founder, Jack Walten. So if Jack is missing and it does seem like this animatronic is possessed, my initial thought is that Jack is possessing it. Other than that, I have really no thoughts. I don't know where this is going. I don't want to say too much or theorize too much because we still have like 5 more videos to go. But at the end of this, if I'm wrong about anything, please feel free to correct me in the comments because I want to make sure I get everything right. But these are my thoughts based on what I'm seeing right now. We also have some information in the description of the video. Tape 1. This is a compilation of tapes created by the already extinct Bunny Smiles company. I tried to get as much info as I could about what these tapes are. All I could find was that these tapes were handed to new employees back in 1974 to 1979. The rest of the tapes seem to be recorded by a new facility caretaker in the year 1982. Hopefully I can find more tapes soon. Anthony. Well, I have no idea who Anthony is, so we still got a lot of questions. I know there's a ton more videos in the series. I'm going to try to go over as many as I can in this video today. But here we go. Let's just jump into the next one. File 2. Relocate Project. Alright, here we go. Tape 2. This is another compilation of tapes from Bunny Smiles Incorporated. I was able of contacting people via forums and threads that have some information of the company. These tapes revolve around some relocation project that was being executed during the late 1970s and 1978. A BSI ex-employee mentioned that these tapes were really private and only a few people had a copy of them. Once the company vanished during the early 80s, 1983, all tapes regarding the project were banned and destroyed. These are super rare and I'm really lucky to have them. As to me, I'm doing fine, just staying home hoping COVID doesn't fuck me over. Take care, Anthony. Alright, so a relocation project? Let's see what they got going on. Tape 1, created on July 2nd, 1978. Hello, Bond. What's going on, brother? Bunny Smiles Inc. A company by Cyber Funtech, 1970 blank. Ooh, hold up. You see that? Half a YouTube link. That probably means that at some point during this video, we're going to see the other half of the link. So I got more videos than what I thought I initially had. All right, we'll have to keep a lookout for that then. Bunny Smiles Incorporated, a company by Cyber Funtech, 1978.
Hello, BSI members and employees, and welcome to the tape that will change the future of the Bonds Burgers brand and the Bunny Smiles company for the better. That's right, after 4 long years of legal paperwork, we finally decided to use our backup plan, which we created after the tragic closure of Bonds Burgers back on July 20th, 1974. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the Relocate Project. But before we go into details, we want to greet all the new Bunny Smiles employees.
With the company greeting out of the way,
Let's start analyzing
That's how
the
you
Relocate
greet them?
Project by checking what has happened ever since the closure of Bonds 4 years ago. As many of you might have known from previous tapes, our beloved entertainers were safely secured in St. Juana's storage facility some months after the restaurant's closure. Later on, a good amount of business opportunities appeared, such as books, merch, animated movies, we even got a TV show. That's when Felix Kranken had the brilliant idea of restore and reprogram the robots of Bonds Burgers with the purpose of relocating them in a new restaurant that would be opened in a not-so-distant future. A pretty smart plan, right? Making enough money to eventually reopen the Bonds Burgers restaurant is no doubt a brilliant idea. So let's give it up for Felix Kranken, a man with not only a giant brain, but also a giant heart.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to keep pausing because we get such big information drops that I got to go over everything. So we get to see kind of like where the process of everything's going so far. So they had the burger company, then something happened where they were like, all right, we need to store everything in K9's bunker. And then now they have the Relocate Project, and they said that this was the backup plan. But keep in mind, there is another plan back here, which is like censored out. So there's something else that's planned, I guess, in case this Relocate Project either fails or goes well. But they said that in the years that the company was closed, they ended up getting some books, toys, and even a TV show. So now they feel like that they're able to open another burger restaurant to fully maximize on the publicity, I guess. But based on the way that they're hyping up the founder here, Felix, we know that there were 2 founders, which was Jack and Felix. And I don't see Jack in any of these, so I guess Jack is missing at this point already. Feels a little sketchy. Feels like Felix is kind of writing Jack out of the story here. We even get to see Jack still has some part in this, and that he's kind of haunting these tapes a little bit. This is definitely Jack with that face. But all right, let's get into the next section. Tape number 2, created August 13th, 1978. Reprogramming phase, facial expressions. Model used Banny, created in 1974. The results should be the same in all other models. Mouth. The mouth is a pre-relocate feature. However, it still requires checking since the reprogramming could have affected this feature. Alright, so they had to reprogram them all for the move. Blink. This feature is brand new, Relocate Project exclusive. Employees must always clean the eye socket. A dirty eye could affect the blink feature. Annoyed/bored. Surprised. Oh, so it has different facial expressions for different moods. Looking for friends, customers. Oh, surprised. Whose face was that?
find a way out of the cage, but it's unsuccessful. A rabbit keeps trying to find a way out, or at least catch the owner's attention. The mighty rabbit must get out. The mighty rabbit needs to 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 get out. The rabbit is starving. 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 The rabbit is starving.
I get it.
Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is starving. Is.
Lots of rabbits running around. Oh, hi. Oh boy. All right, hold on. Let's go back. All right. So the rabbit must get out. The rabbit is starving. The rabbit must get the owner's attention is what it kept saying over and over again. In case you were wondering, this is what the face looked like at the end there. This definitely looks like a real person's face, although like the eyes are turned upside down. It looks like it might be stretched a little bit. I have no idea who this is supposed to be though, if we're supposed to know who this is yet. And then we have a missing poster here, which I can't make out that first name. Maybe Susan Woodings? Can't fully make out the name. And then last seen sometime in 1974. Which we know 1974 is the same year that Bond's Burgers closed. This next tape was created in July 9th, 1978. Bunny Farm game. Bunny Smiles Inc. Technical Support, 1978.
Welcome to Technical Support. Today we will focus on the area tour and orientation inside K9, the Bunny Smiles storage facility. We recommend all facility caretakers to have all needed equipment in hand and to always wear the Bunny Smiles uniform. But most importantly, all of you must always, under any circumstance, use your BSIID card.
Brian
Once you
Stells.
have all the necessary equipment at hand, we are ready to go. Hello, I see you made it to the storage facility.
Yes, I did.
I bet you must be very excited and nervous to start working here.
I'm definitely nervous.
But let's stop and think. Do you have all the necessary items for your job tasks? I thought so. Let's put on a nice backpack and start packing some items. Let's check the items you will require for your job at K9. Lantern? Check. Snacks? Check. Key? Check. Camera? Check.
Is that Jack?
Wow, it's pretty dark here. You should turn on the light.
Good idea.
Turn on the light. Turn on the light. Turn on the...
Turn it on! Jesus.
It's important to keep track of which rooms you enter. This place can be really tricky and you could get lost very easily. This is the resting room. In this room, you can sit down, rest, talk with coworkers, you name it. Remember to always keep this room as clean and organized as possible. A clean environment helps to get tasks done faster. A dirty environment only makes your job harder to get done.
Who was that at the end there?
Alright, this is the main hall of the place. In front of you, you will find 3 doors. These are storage areas. The first door is used to save any kind of cleaning items and supplies. The second door is used to save a kind of prizes and merch that was available in a Bond's Burgers restaurant. The third door is used to hide...
Used to hide what? Bodies? Is that where Brian Stells is?
Welcome to the basement. Right now, you are in the...
That audio is definitely backwards. I will be playing that to you during the editing segment.
Mary would go to the restaurant every night hoping that his beloved husband would reappear after being missing for weeks, but no response until one day she heard a voice saying, "I know where she is, Rosie," coming from the backstage.
Main storage area. As you can see, this is the room where we storage more important items such as stages, tables, arcade machines, and birthday props. Now, please follow me to the next door.
Oh, okay.
In the Bon's Burgers restaurant, remember to avoid touching or shining lights at our robots unless you are a facility technician. Now let's move on to the next room.
That was a really quick description of the room. Who's that at the door?
We visited this room already. Sophie, where am I? Listen. By the time the lady entered the backstage, as the voice told her to, missing husband wasn't there. Instead, she found a rabbit.
Rose broken will fix you. You will beautiful. You will beautiful. You will beautiful.
When she woke up, she looked beautiful. But on the inside,
Every single part of her body was bleeding out.
I really did not know how much information I was walking into during this video. Okay, this is the part that I think is most important here. So we end up back in this room and she says, "Hey, we already visited this room already." Then we see the little creepy person down here, so I'm still not sure who that is. She walks up to them. Now the room changes. There's a chair and the picture back here is now of an actual person. And then she says this.
Sophie, where am I?
Sophie, where am I? Now, as far as I know, we have not met a Sophie yet in this. And it says, by the time the lady went to the backstage, as the voices told her to, her husband wasn't there. Could this be Jack Walton's wife trying to find Jack in the bunker, maybe? Again, I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of just theorizing here a little bit. But she finds Bon the bunny. And it appears that Bon kills her and then puts her in one of the other animatronics. We also get this brief image where it looks like this person is separate from Bon. So I, again, still don't know who this is, who this black figure is here. And then we hear when she woke up, she looked beautiful, but on the inside, it felt like every part of her body was bleeding. And then we get a missing poster. But again, I can't read anything on that missing poster, so I guess we keep going. Following footage was recorded during July 1978, from the 12th to the 14th, on which 3 Bunny Smiles technicians volunteered to stay 3 days in the BSI storage facility for the purpose of reprogramming the animatronics in order to execute the Relocate Project. Getting ready in my seat for this one, because I'm sure this one's going to be something else. Here we go. The employees left to right are Hillary B, Ashley P, and Kevin W. The next footage shows the 3 employees restoring the Bon's Burgers animatronics.
No, but the place itself was open during a short period of time, in which a certain number of cases occurred around the area. Huh. Yeah. And there were complaints from people that lived near the restaurant about the place playing music during midnight, like 2 or 3 in the morning, along with the lights on, which was weird, because back then, the company didn't really worry about hiring night guards. But yeah, the place closed after people reported hearing the screams of an adult woman inside of the restaurant. Jeez. So yeah. Some hours after that specific case was reported, the restaurant decided to close its doors, probably because authorities needed to check the place or something. What's weird about this is that the last day Bonds was open, they only let like 1 or 2 families in. And they mentioned later that the animatronics, like the entertainers, were completely absent and the curtains were closed.
Well, that's odd.
Fuck. This forest reminds me of a movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think we changed these pieces with the new ones.
Don't you think that could take some time? I mean, we gotta move on with the others, good enough to finish everything by Friday.
I mean, yes, but I think we should make them look as new as possible. That's the point of this whole project, right? I think we should restore as much as we can, don't you think?
Yes, but if we keep focusing on these small details, the reprogramming of the robots won't be finishing.
Hey Kevin, I bet we can add the blinking eyes feature on this one. The eye sockets are really damaged. Almost as if someone did this intentionally.
I think all these holes in the suit and stuff were made after the closing.
What do you mean?
When the place closed down, some of the tech, the company who created the robots, had to revise them after noticing a good amount of irregularities in them. During the process, they probably did this mess to get to the endoskeleton.
Good night, guys.
God, it is so cold.
So they're reprogramming them, yes, but they still look like shit. They're like completely destroyed. Like they were saying, like they were, I guess, trying to get to the endoskeleton, but reprogramming the robots and then putting them back on display again isn't enough. You definitely got to redo like the entire thing because they look destroyed. Putting those in a burger restaurant is going to be crazy. I mean, that's going to give kids nightmares. I don't even know how they didn't already when they looked nicer, but... And now these 3 psychos decided to sleep here, despite talking about all the creepy circumstances 10 seconds ago.
Look at this key.
What?
Have you noticed how the company gives us this tiny key but never mentioned its purpose?
You're just overlooking stuff.
I mean, why would they give us a key with no use whatsoever?
Exactly. It has to be for something interesting.
Maybe, but we're running out of time. We should focus on finishing these robots by tomorrow.
Right.
Good night.
Hello. This will probably be the last recording today before we leave. So, yeah. Bad news. The programming phase was unsuccessful. We had a lot of inconveniences when we tried to restore the robots. Ton of damaged parts in the skeleton models made it impossible to add the new features. And let's not forget the fact that we didn't have enough time to end the project.
Yeah, we hope we can go back with better equipment and a better deadline.
As Hillary said, we're begging the company to allow us to return to a more organized plan. But for now, this ends the reprogramming phase for the relocation project and log.
So they didn't have enough time to finish, and the stuff was too damaged.
Exactly. I am using the camera because I am planning to find wherever this key leads to. I'm sure whatever this key hides could save the project. I will show this footage to you guys once you wake up. I know you guys told me not to wander around, but I genuinely think this small key could be a lifesaver.
No way you went wandering around in the dark animatronic bunker at night by yourself. There are so many problems with that, dude. Back doors.
It took me a while, but I realized the key leads to this door, labeled back doors. It seems like a small area, so I'll just go take a little peek, see if I can find anything interesting, and then go back. Simple. This is bigger than I thought. I don't think I have enough time, so I'll just try and peek around doors and see what's inside.
They're numbered.
There are a ton of empty rooms with boring stuff. I came across this door, which was open. Kinda weird. Anyway, this room seems to have some spare endo pieces, and from the looks of it, some unused animatronics, I guess? I won't go into detail about what I find, since I'm in a rush, of course, and this room number 26 or 27, I think. As you can see here, there are some spare heads. Nothing I'm interested in, to be honest.
Sound like someone else breathing.
Well, this is bizarre. I can't really tell if this buddy is a robot or a puppet, but why is it hanging on the wall? This is really weird. So this is the last door. I've never seen this clown thing before. It's really, there's absolutely no way I'm getting close to that thing. I'll probably wait till you guys see this video and come down here with me so we can take a closer. I found this. I'm pretty sure that clown thing had a cassette player installed, so I guess I'll have to be brave and trying to see what this whole thing is.
No, just wait till we are with them at least.
Has a cassette player thing installed. But my guess is that it's used for birthday parties, like, you know, play a customized tape or something? I don't know. But we're about to find out.
Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, Sophie.
Not gonna lie, your ass getting to die doing what you did by yourself.
Hello, I'm Billy, the funny movie clown. Do I see you, so? It's not the remember. She lied those ups, she lied this goes now. The blind fortune teller speaks with knowledge, but never with content.
Hold up. Gotta go back. Did you see that text there? Oh, there's the other end of the YouTube link. They left the next day. They thought Ashley left early, but she was in the back doors, screaming as much as she could, but no one could hear the screams. The following days, the caretakers would complain about an awful smell coming from the back doors. Company decided to shut down the facility until new advice. The Relocate Project was unsuccessful. Ashley is still there, but she's not screaming anymore. She saw something she wasn't supposed to see, and now she's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. I believe this is Ashley stuck in this animatronic here. Oh my god, there's so much to go over there again. So behind the back doors, they were stocking a bunch of unused animatronics that we have not seen up until this point. And she finds that hidden tape that's from June 11th in 78, I believe? 70 something. And during that birthday song, at one point it glitches out and it says Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, and Sophie. At least I think that's all the names that I heard. We know that Jack is one of the co-owners, or was. Susan, we were told, was missing. I believe Susan is inside of the Banny animatronic. Charles, I don't think we've heard of before. Rosemary, I think, is the one that got put into the last animatronic that we saw, because she says, Sophie, where am I? So she can't be Sophie. So I believe that's Rosemary. And then we still don't know who Sophie is, or have seen Sophie, I believe. But wow, we're only 2 videos in. I'm gonna try to open up this YouTube video now for this hidden one. Secret file. Lucky you. Okay, so typing in that YouTube link, we get access to an unlisted video called Lucky You. The description says the story of Bond's Burgers goes back to 1958, where 2 college students had the same idea of animated performers. The names were Jack Walton and Felix Kranken. It took them 16 years to actually execute this concept. By that time, Kranken and Walton had built their own families. Felix married a beautiful lady, and Walton was not only a great husband, but also the happy father of 3 beautiful children. Let's give it a watch. Bond's Burgers. Flipping my page. Got more information to write down, I'm sure. Opening day, June 28th, 1974. First birthday party, June 30th, 1974. right, the robot's in so much better condition. Last shows before closure, July 10th, 1974. Thank you for the smiles, Bond's Burgers. We got the dates there. And then the closure, with Bond creepily standing there by the door. Then the storage facility, December 10th, 1974. Scrapping. So we're getting a solid timeline here, it seems.
You must be so confused about what you saw. Don't be scared, my little bunny. Answers will be given eventually, but don't try to solve this puzzle only with the pieces you have so far. This is only the beginning. For I'm going to tell you a story of broken people, beautiful people. He is so sorry about what he did to them, but there's nothing he can do. Remember that. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie.
Safety and pills?
Sophie. Safety and pills, 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 Sophie. Safety and
Oh, can't you see? I made them beautiful. I don't know how. I didn't even mean to, but I did. They try to talk to us through analog. They will be heard. This is their cry for help. Besides, they want us to know what happened that year. But we must be patient. Look. They are filled with life. They dance to the music. They laugh and sing along. They're perfect. They are beautiful. They will see you soon, Sophie. So I'm going to say right off the bat, I know we're not even close to done with the Walten Files yet. I know that there's at least 2 videos in the main line of the series, and I believe there's also more secret videos and other videos that tie in somehow. But because this video is long enough already, I'm just going to cut it here and give you my thoughts for now. And if you guys support this video enough, I'll give you a second part. But here's my thoughts on everything right now. I'm not sure what happened to cause the initial Bond's Burgers to close, but it does seem like there was some foul play between Felix and Jack. I feel like Felix either killed Jack or somehow got rid of him and maybe put him inside the Bond animatronic. It does seem like Jack is haunting that animatronic specifically. Maybe it was Jack's death that caused the Bond's Burgers to close. Again, we don't really know exactly what happened yet, but after that, all the animatronics were put into the bunker facility, and I believe Jack's wife, Rosemary, went to search for him, and when she was there, found Bond, and maybe she did find out that Jack was inside of him, but for whatever reason, Jack possessing Bond kills Rosemary and then stuffs her into the other animatronic, which I believe that one's name is Ba. And now anybody that gets really close into the facility is automatically taken, killed, and stuffed into another animatronic. I'm not really sure why Jack would be doing that as Bond. I think that's something we need more information for. I also do think now that Susan, Charles, and Sophie are the 3 kids of Jack and Rosemary. Because in the description of that last video, it says he was a happy father of 3 beautiful children. And since we were given those 5 names, it only makes sense for 2 of them to be the parents and the other 3 to be the kids. I'm really not sure where this story is going to go next. I would appreciate it if you guys could give me some more information because I don't know everything about this series so far. I know that there are at least 2 videos in the main playlist, which is the Walten Files 3, which is an hour long, and then the video Guilty. But I also heard that there's a website and some other secret videos and whatnot. So if you guys can let me know what order to go in the description down below, please do. And if you guys get this video to 8,000 likes, you will get a part 2, no doubt. But seriously, I already put so much effort into this video. We only went over 3 short videos and there was so much information. I'm loving the series so far. I'm loving the vibe. I'm loving the story. We keep getting constant hits of information that are helping us organize a trail. But as that last video said, we don't have all the information, so don't try to figure it all out yet. But as always, please be sure to go support your analog horror content creators. The Walten Files channel will be linked in the description down below. Make sure to go over there and watch the videos for yourself. You might find something that even I missed. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to hit 300k before the end of the year, and I always do videos that are like this. Also, big shout out to all my members. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for all your support on my videos. You guys are absolutely incredible. Let me know what you thought of the Walten Files, though. I know it's an analog horror classic, and I'm really happy that I started to go over it, but oh my god, is there a lot of information. I'm gonna have to make a whole timeline before the next video just so I can understand what events happened when. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.